and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Whoa.
Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of
Lonnie
course,
caught
Bob.
us by surprise there. Today, Brad, we're going to talk about 5 signs your knee pain may be a meniscus tear. These are self-tests you can do. We're not trying to turn you into doctors or therapists, but you know, if you hurt your knee and you just want maybe a little idea of what's going on
Right.
before you go see the doctor, this is something you can try.
Yeah, these are nice, simple tests, and we'll go through them.
Yep, we got 5 of them, and then we'll show you some things you can do if they end up being positive. So,
And if you haven't watched this before, we do have some subscribe buttons, which will be helpful for future reference for more information like this.
yeah,
Bob.
so there's a subscribe button right over here. Please hit it. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day.
Excellent.
All right, test number 1 is the thessaly test. I also saw it kind of referred to as the disco test because you're kind of doing disco here, Brad.
So if you're like 50 years or older, you know what he's talking about.
Yeah, no kidding. So you're first going to just, I'd have something to hold on to, Brad.
Sure.
It's just going to make it a lot easier. You're going to bend your knee to about 5 degrees, which is not very much.
Right.
And all you're going to do,
All right. You can't, yeah, so that's about the bend right there.
so here I'm just twisting on it. And the idea is when I twist this way, it might be the medial meniscus, and when I twist this way, it might be the lateral meniscus.
You know, for the average person, you don't really need to know whether it's medial or lateral. It's just that you're going to have pain with it.
You know, it just dawned on me, we maybe should tell them what the meniscus is.
Oh, that's a good point. It's one of those ones that's challenging to describe.
Brad's going to take his pen.
Yep.
Lonnie, we're coming up to you.
Zoom in.
Don't be afraid.
So this is the kneecap with the tendon. We're going to get that
Yeah,
out
I
of the
just
way.
pulled this right off my leg.
There you go. Good. Use your imagination. Look inside the knee, underneath the condyles from the femur, and see this tissue right here.
They're usually kind of horseshoe shaped on
Yep,
both sides.
yep.
And it acts as a cushion for your knee.
Right.
And you can get a tear anywhere in here, and you can also, it can flip up. And that's what will really cause you pain.
Yeah, it can
And make
lock your knee, that
lock
kind of
and
thing.
snapping, clicking, all those types of things
Right.
can happen.
So if you use your imagination, or you don't even have to hear it, we're doing these things like are rotating. You can see how this meniscus is. We've got a problem with that one. See how it's lifting up?
Yeah.
Now, that probably wouldn't happen, but at least you get some kind of idea of what these tests
So
are
whenever,
doing.
yeah, we compress the knee together and we twist, you're going to be putting pressure on that
Right,
patella,
yep.
and that
Meniscus.
not patella. All right, next one, Childress sign. Oh, we did this, by the way, at 5 degrees. We also do it at 15 degrees, Brad, so a little bit more bend.
Right, here, let's get this so they can see a little bit more idea there.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely the disco
So
dance.
again, if you see click or feel clicking or snapping or pain, there's a possibility that that's what it is. It also could be arthritis. If
Sure,
you're,
it
but
this doesn't confirm a meniscus, but it
Right.
indicates.
Childress sign. So what this is going to do with this one, you're going to go ahead and squat down, Brad, and then you're going to duck walk.
Oh, can you turn and walk this way, Bob? So they can really get a good laugh?
You made me do that, didn't you, Brad? All right.
So anyways,
I'll get you.
Yeah, with that, again, same thing. You're going to feel
Right.
clicking, pain. And if you
Snapping.
if you get sharp pains, then that's a pretty positive sign, particularly if you do all of these and you get a positive with all of them, then it's even more indicative that,
Positive means is that you actually feel something.
sure.
I'm not sure how to pronounce this, E-G-E-S. I don't know if it's Aegis or Aegis or eggs or what.
It's probably named after a
It's
doctor.
named after a doctor, I apologize. But so you're going to put your feet about 11 to 15 inches apart. And first you're going to, what we call laterally rotate. In other words, turn your feet out.
Like you're a duck.
Yeah. And then you're just going to squat down. Oh, I hit the bench.
Ooh.
Same thing. You're looking for pain. You're looking for clicking.
And you're going to squat down to about 90 degrees in the knee right there?
I would say at least.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also you can turn in. And you're going to do, this one's going to be harder to do. You can only go down so far, Brad.
Right, yep.
On this one. And generally they found that if the first early part, if it hurts in the early part, it's on the front part of the knee, the front part of the meniscus, and if it's down here, it's more in the back part of the
Sure,
meniscus.
you bet.
So you can go and tell your doctor exactly where the tear is. If it. So next one, Brad, number 4, Payer's test. With this one, just kind of a simple one to do, Brad. Do you mind if I?
Yep.
All you're going to do is you're going to lay down, and you're going to put your leg, this is the involved leg, in the figure 4 position like this. And supposedly, I've never used this one, Brad, but if this hurts on the inside, there could be a meniscus tear.
So let's get this. So you take the foot here and you kind of put it just at the knee level or below, so the heel's at the knee
Right.
on the opposite leg, and you just relax that leg
Yep.
and let it open up out
Exactly.
to the side. And while it's hanging there, if you got pain there,
Yep.
okay, I can see where that would put pressure on that part
It's
of the
kind of
joint.
compressing, yep. Next one is the bounce home test, Brad. This is where you do need somebody to help.
yep.
But I thought it was easy enough that you could do it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, somebody could. So all they're going to do is they're going to grab your heel, bend the knee up like this, and then they're going to bring it back and just let it bounce down like this.
So for this one, Bob needs to have a very relaxed knee.
Yeah.
If your knee is painful and you're apprehensive, this probably
You don't even want to do it probably.
right. So
Now, if I go down and I only go this far, it won't straighten all the way out. That might mean the meniscus, the disc, the cushion has ripped and maybe even rolled up a little bit and is blocking motion.
right.
But if there's a really sharp pain with this, a referral, it's a good sign there might be a meniscus tear.
Okay. All right.
So let's say you went through all these, Brad, and you found out that all of them were positive, and you want to think of some things to try before you go and see the doctor. Let's start off with, let's first go ahead and put some ice on it.
Sure.
So,
It's probably there's some swelling involved.
but we're going to want to try to get as much range of motion as we can get, and we want to get it as strong as we can get.
Sure.
So the first one I like to have people do, and I actually had a girl do this one, it worked out pretty good for her, Brad. It's a little complicated, but a lot of times they'll find out knee bending is a little bit restricted.
Okay.
So, and again, this needs to be pain-free, absolutely pain-free. If
Okay.
it hurts, you do not do it
Right.
by any means. So you're going to put your leg up here. You're going to rotate. You're going to turn the lower tibia here, Brad.
Right.
You're going to turn it this way.
So like on this, you're going
That'd
to.
be clockwise,
Yep.
wouldn't it? Yep. So while we're turning it clockwise, oh, you know what? I'm wrong. It's counterclockwise. It's the other way.
You're going to go inwards.
Inward, yep.
Okay.
I apologize. I was just incorrect on that. You're turning this way. You're turning this way, and while you're turning this way, you're bending the knee.
Would it help to point your toe in a little bit?
Sometimes they do have them do that.
Okay.
They actually sometimes even tape it that way, and they have their foot turned.
Sure.
But generally they didn't. I mean,
Okay.
generally they just had you turn it and tried bending the knee like this.
So if you do that and it creates pain, you stop.
You stop.
Okay.
Yep.
You if it feels good and all of a sudden you can get
Yeah,
all the
bend
way
more.
through.
Yep, go ahead and
Feels
do
good.
it.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. And you can also work on knee bending just without doing that twisting. You can just go ahead and work it this way. Again, only take it up to the point where you feel pain. But you want to see if you can regain some of that flexion, if it's going to smooth out on its own.
Right. And maybe I'll just add this, Bob. If they go in and up to that pain and you come back off, you may want to try a few more times because
Just
after
rocking
some
into it.
repetition, it might go a little bit further each time and it's starting to go into place, but only if it feels better each time with more range of motion. Don't keep banging on it if it still hurts.
Right, and the same as you're going to want to work the other direction. You want to work on extending the knee. So let's say it doesn't straighten out all the way. Again, as long as it's pain-free, you could just let gravity work on it. You
Yep.
could put a little weight on here, or you could even get a little pressure on, pressure off.
Right, so that
Pressure
rhythmic.
on, pressure off. But yeah, no pain.
Right.
You know, we're not trying to fire things up here.
Right. You're
So-
not going to force it.
All right, let's then show some strengthening, Brad. We can just
Sure.
do simple old quad sets where you're sitting here on the bed here and you're pushing the knee down into the bed.
Yep.
Because you want to keep the knee strong while you're recovering.
You know, sometimes it helps to have something underneath there, so you think about squishing that towel roll. It makes it a little easier. There you
Yeah.
Now, yeah. You see those massive quads Bob got? You can see it right through his pant leg. There you
Unbelievable,
go.
aren't they? All right, then we're going to go ahead and you're going to do 4-way straight leg raises, Brad. So
Okay.
you're going to go ahead and you're going to go flexion.
And notice Bob has the other knee up and bent. That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah,
for
and
this-
so what we're doing is we're strengthening the leg without moving the knee.
Right.
So it's going to help with keeping the knee strong while you're going through this recovery process.
Sure.
And some people do those power pumps. You remember
Yep.
those, Brad?
It's going to get a little more aggressive on the hip muscles as well as the quad.
So then we can roll onto my side, which I don't want to roll onto this side. So let's say we just switched knees.
The injury jumped over to this
Yeah,
leg.
so now we're just going to we can do hip abduction.
Sure. And you know, notice how he keeps his body in a nice straight line. he doesn't have the leg out in front like this. That's not what we want.
And
We
the
wanna
foot
keep
shouldn't
it
be
here.
turned up like that either. You want it forward like this.
Exactly, yep. So this would be incorrect.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then, again, if I were to flip over onto my other side, now with the same, again, the involved leg, you could do hip adduction like this,
Right,
Brad.
yep.
Really important to do this one too, to be honest with you, Brad.
Yeah, it works those muscles, those groin muscles in here, which, also work with the knee.
They also cross the knee. And then the final one is to go ahead and do hip extensions. But you're also doing, you get a little hamstring, get a little...
Right. So the knee again is straight. We're trying to isolate and protect that joint, but still work the muscles around it.
And, the general rule of thumb, Brad, is if the knee doesn't regain its motion and the pain just continues, then they may have to go in and snip part of it off.
Right, go in there and let the orthopedic doctor do what they need to do.
So, all right, remember we can fix just about anything, Brad,
Except,
a broken heart.
there you go, Bob. But we're working on it. We're still working
Brad,
on
I can
it.
see the heart.
Oh,
It's
there
right
it is, yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.